Hello and welcome to DayZ. This video is going to be your resource to finding out how to survive if you're new to the game. I'm going to explain everything that I found in all of the different resources online. I'm going to put it all into this video. We're going to survive the first couple days together. So let's start. The first thing we want to do is actually check the server that we're going to play on. I'm going to actually just tell you to start on a official server with no mods. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but for me, I think this is a good way to start learning the game. So I'm just going to take a look here for a couple things. First thing is ping. We want a nice low ping server. And the other thing I'm going to look for is daytime and a low population. The reason we want to start with a low pop is so that we can get a chance to actually get established. Especially learning the game, we don't need to have like a ton of people around. So let's start with this one. 9 people on the server, 44 ping, and it's daytime. So let's go ahead and play that one. Okay, so here we are. We spawned into the world, and the first thing that is going to be apparent is that we're not usually going to be around all that much when we begin. But right away I see a building here. What we're going to be looking for is our first town. So we see a road here, we see some power lines, and we see a building. It's a good start. So first off, we want to take a look at our inventory. We hit tab to look at our inventory, and in there we can see all of our different worn equipment. In this case, we started with some hiking pants that are cropped, some t-shirt, and some shoes. We don't have much else other than some bandages, a glow stick, and an apple, all of which are actually on our hotbar here, which is limited to just 4 slots at the moment, but will be increased by other items later on. And we also have a bit of inventory space here between our t-shirt and our pants, so we can actually move things around. And we have vicinity, which is anything that's around us right now. There's nothing, we're just in the field. So let's get moving. The first things we're going to be looking for here is something to defend ourselves with, some kind of a weapon. Looks like we actually have a little town down here. And we're going to be looking for some warmer clothes. Food and water are going to be important as well, but they are not the absolute first things we need to find, although we will take it. We actually have an apple to begin with, and there's no reason not to just eat your apple right at the beginning, as far as I know. So I'm just going to eat the apple right away. You just hold click to eat the whole apple. So there we go. We ate the apple. Now we can see that our hydration and food are going up. And you can see now that I'm crouched. While you're crouched, you can hold shift to sprint while crouched, which is a good sort of in-between stealthiness. These are some boxed nails. Nails are pretty good. You can use them with a baseball bat to make a nailed bat, which is a cool weapon to have. So we'll hold on to that. Don't see much else in here at the moment. Don't want to do that. That was an accident. This is a fireplace. Somebody else set this up earlier, and it is burned down. There's no fuel in it or anything like that, but if we added a bit of fuel, we could get that going. Okay, there's nothing else here, really. The fireplace does make me a little bit wary. It means that there could be people kind of nearby. Okay, where was that town? It's down here. Okay. So we see a couple of zombies here. If you hold middle mouse button, you can actually kind of focus in a little bit. If we hold crouch, they probably won't see us. We can take a look and see what town this is. Actually, this just shows us where the towns are nearby. But it could still kind of give us a good idea. If you go online, you can actually find maps of the game. And when you're on the map online, just search DayZ map. This will come right up. You can actually use this and just type in whatever phonetic letters that you kind of see that, you know, are Skrillex, but you know, it will actually pick it up and usually find it. So say we found this town here in the world, we saw a sign that said something like this. You can actually just type in OPNOBE, maybe U, and sure enough, we can see that it did find it. And if you click on it, it will bring you right to it. But that is not the town that we're actually at right now. NONRHA. So there we go. This is the city that we're in. So that'll tell us right away what this city actually has in it. Looks like we have a decent amount to loot. We also have a water source in the center of the city. Most towns and villages, cities will all have a water source that you can use. And this one is also a temporary contamination. So if you go to the city, there is a chance that it will be contaminated with a green smoke. You want to look out for that, as it will kill you pretty quickly. If you don't have the full hazmat suit, which you will not have at the beginning of the game. So this is important to know. It's good to just keep the map up on a side monitor if you have one available, or just use your phone or whatever you have. It's a good thing to kind of just keep an eye on if you want to do it that way. Now, you don't need any of this. You could play the game totally without that knowledge, but it does make the game a lot easier, especially when you're first starting out and learning where things are. So right away, we want to just avoid all the zombies if possible. We don't need to aggro them before we have a proper weapon to deal with them. So the best thing to do is just keep yourself crouched, Keep a fair distance from them and move away. So this building right away doesn't have any zombies in front of it, so we're going to go and loot it first. Now that there's no zombies around, we can sprint again. And these first coastal villages may not have a lot for you, as they often are looted quite a lot as new players move into the game and start heading inland. You might be asking yourself, why do we need to head inland? The reason why is because the loot actually gets better and better as you get further and further into the actual, into the land itself. So when you go uphill, northwest, all the items start getting better and better. So why not run there right away? Well, good question. The reason being is because you just don't have anything you need to really survive out there at the beginning. You definitely need to have something to keep you warm. You need some food. You need some tools. And we're looking for all that stuff right now in the first starter village. So far we haven't found a lot. We do have a lot of zombies around here. We're going to try to avoid them the best we can. Just skirt along this fence and hop into this building here. You can see we can get pretty close to them as long as we keep our head down and keep moving. Oh, that's not going to work out for us. Just close that door real quick. So that one is aggroed and he is making some noise. So we could deal with them, or we could just leave. I think in this case, it's a little bit safer to just leave. Let's check this shed. Sometimes sheds will have decent tools, including knives, hatchets. This is a lot of zombies. It's actually a little bit too much to deal with right at the beginning. I think we need to skirt around here. Hop this fence. I don't know if we did this house yet over here or not. But this is good. Now we can kind of start making our way down these houses. Let's have a quick look here. Yeah, this is one we did already. So let's keep moving now down this way through town. This town is looking pretty looted, sadly. And yet the zombie population is pretty high. So it makes me think some items may have respawned already. We got a tracksuit jacket, which is good. It's got bad insulation, but it's probably slightly better than our t-shirt. We can just drop it onto our body to switch it. Remember, all of your things that are in the t-shirt went over here, so we don't want to lose those. I'd grab those and pull them over. And the t-shirt itself, once we have something to rip this up, we can actually make it into rags. So right now we can't do it. We don't have a cutting item. But if we take this t-shirt, we can throw it into our inventory. To change the orientation, you can actually hold it and press space if we want it a different way to sort of Tetris things in. But for right now, that's good. That's a pretty low priority item. I don't really care if we have to drop that, but for right now, with our rest of our inventory pretty empty, it's not so bad to just keep it. Here's a helmet. This helmet is badly damaged, which means it's not doing all that well, but it will give us a little bit of protection on our head. It's not going to insulate us, it's not going to make us warm or anything, but better than nothing, I suppose. Some helmets and headgear in general will reduce your visibility, and you won't be able to see quite as much. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's a bit of a trade-off. Nothing up there. Okay, so we got some gloves, which will keep our hands warm and clean. And we also get a little bit of canned tuna, which is badly damaged. But it is probably edible. And some cans can be opened, like this one, that can be opened because it has a pull tab. You don't need a can opener or anything else to open it, so we can just click. And we open it up. Once we have it open, we can actually mouse over it and see whether or not it's rotten. I don't know if we could have seen that without. I don't think we could. I'm going to hold this to eat. As long as our food is not full, I'm just going to keep eating. And there's the water source right there. That's the pump. The water pump. And it can be used for a couple different things. You can use it to fill up bottles if you have them, to give yourself something to drink from while you're on the road. It can also be used to drink from directly. That's some cool shoes. We'll take those. Why not? Some Converse kicks. And men's suit jacket. Not all that interested. Sorry, to get back on track. We can drink from it. We can also wash our hands. It can be a little bit tricky to do some of those things. We got matches. That's really good. It's a very helpful item. Let's go ahead and drink. Press and hold to drink. If our hands are empty, so there's nothing in our hands at the moment, we'll actually have the option to wash our hands as well. But right now we don't need to do that. And I think as long as you don't have to do it, it won't give you an option. I'll check that real quick here. So I'll drink a little bit more. Stop that for now. Make sure there's nothing in our hands, and then once we're hovered over it, it just gives us the option to drink, and we can't scroll to get any different options. Sometimes that's also a thing. So like, let's say you have a something you're trying to craft, which we'll get into crafting in just a moment. There's something you're trying to craft, you can't actually do it until you have scrolled to the correct option. So like, let's say you have bark and a stick, which can make either a campfire, or it can also make a drill starting fire starting kit. You need to actually scroll your mouse wheel in order to switch between the two selections, which can be a little bit confusing. I feel like I'm throwing a lot of information at you very quickly, so if you're keeping up, good job. Keep it up. Looks like actually around here there's not quite as many zombies, which is nice. We'll try to use this to quickly get ourselves some more loot. We found one really good piece of gear so far, which was the matches. I'm actually going to switch to the boonie hat. I don't think that helmet's going to give us that much protection. And the boonie hat is just a lot of fun. Look how cool I look. It's very important to be fashionable in this game. It's really not, but I like being fashionable. Let's check out the supermarket. Oh wow, I'm surprised I can't get in that window. Okay, let's just go around. What's this? Canopy tent, wow. So we have a head torch and some suit pants. The suit pants are probably a little bit better, a little bit warmer than the hiking pants that we have on right now. I mean, they both say bad insulation. Or no, this one says low insulation, so it's actually slightly better. So we'll actually switch to these. And we'll just make sure that there was nothing in our pants that we put on the ground. Okay, so we had the t-shirt in there. No big deal. We'll grab it just in case, but it doesn't really matter that much at the moment. Ooh, what's this? Peacoat. This is probably a lot warmer than what we have. Best insulation, absolutely. We'll definitely take this to warm ourselves up, and we have to move our items back over. Now, I don't think there's a faster way to do this. If you know of a faster way, please feel free to put it in the comments. I know a little bit about the game, but I don't know everything yet, so I'm showing you what I know, and I appreciate if you know more, which I'm sure you do, please put it in the comments for other people to learn as well. There's a zombie out front here. You can hear him. He's a little bit anxious. He's moving around. Okay, there's not a lot more up this way. We're going to come back. Okay, so he might be aggroed on me. He kind of yelled out a little bit. Yeah, okay, so he's coming. So we want to hold right click to get our fists out. Oh, is he not coming? Okay, he's coming. Hold right click to get our fists out, and just start punching with left click. Keep him in front of you and just keep punching. There we go. And very quickly he'll fall to the ground. Take a look on your bottom right there to see if you have any status effects, including bleeding, which is the main one. If you don't have bleeding, you can just go about your merry way. He had some powdered milk on him. To find out, you just actually hit tab, look at vicinity, you'll see anything that's on their body, as well as anything that's in their inventory. So they have a crappy hat, which we don't really want, and some powdered milk. I think this will dehydrate us if we drink it. So I'm going to actually just pass on it for now. I think we'll find more food. We're doing kind of okay anyways. We have that the canned fish already too, so we're doing pretty great. Just quickly scanning rooms. Usually you'll find things on countertops and on the ground and on surfaces in general, like beds and things, so gonna look out for those areas. There we go, a water bottle. And it is damaged, but it looks overall clean, so we'll take that. That's kind of great. We'll go fill that up in the water fountain. The water pump, whatever you want to call it, which I think is kind of in the courtyard somewhere. Okay, nothing else in here. I think this goes out to the front area. Yep. It's pretty peaceful at the moment. But that can change pretty quick. There's a zombie there. So to fill up the water bottle, we'd take the thing, put it in our hands, and then when you look at the bottom here, we see drink. If we scroll, we see empty. I think empty is because we have stuff in the bottle already. So we actually drop that out, and then we can fill up the bottle. So click and hold, I should say, to fill. There we go. So we have a full water bottle now, which is pretty helpful. We can put this on our slots at the bottom here to drink from it anytime we choose. But for right now, while we're here, we'll drink a little bit more. I don't like to drink forever, so I just wait till the status effect shows that it's going up by a lot, and then I just do it for maybe 3 or 4 rotations. So some of these buildings, I think I haven't looted them yet, so we'll go and start checking them out. An alarm clock. Some suit pants. Right now we have suit pants on as well. These guys are pretty close. I'm going to try and get away from them. I think for the most part, this street I haven't really looted yet, so I'll check out this street now. Alright, we've got a Mark II gun. This is actually a really, really nice one to find. This is a 22 long round pistol, which I think it's pretty quiet. I could be wrong, but it feels quiet to me when I used it before. We also have some wool gloves, which I think we're already wearing some wool gloves that are very similar. But these ones are damaged, and these ones are badly damaged. So we actually find that this ones are a little bit better, so we'll use these instead. And now we have those on. That's good. And just a little warm hat. So this is best insulation. This is low insulation. We'll drop it, and we'll take the beanie instead. So already we're warming up. You can see in the bottom right, our status effects show that our temperature is increasing. So most of our sort of like base needs are taken care of. Now we're really looking for a weapon. You can jump over fences by going up to them and hitting spacebar. You'll vault over. Come on, give me a weapon. This is a weapon. It's not the best weapon, but it will do. This is also technically a blade. So you can use this to do stealth kills, which I can show you in a moment. It's a good way to kind of get around early game. And there we go. That's a much better weapon. So this is a pristine splitting axe, which is pretty incredible. That means we can take out zombies pretty effectively. We can also use this to cut down wood to make campfires. This was a really good find. We can put this on a shoulder slot to put it on our back, as you can see there. And then once we have it there, we can actually drag it down to our hotbar. So that we have a couple different options. So I can hold my screwdriver. I can switch to my lumber axe. Hold right click to get it ready. And left click to swing. But for right now, I'm going to keep my little screwdriver out for doing some stealth kills. Oh, there we go. A ski mask. So now we're even better insulated. And we're keeping really nice and warm. All right, so now we have a weapon, a couple of weapons actually, and we have our temperature taken care of. So the next thing is going to be food and water. Water is pretty well taken care of as well. Find a little bit more food and then we can start heading out. Just do a quick stealth kill just to show you how it works. So the main thing with the stealth kill is we want to stay crouched. We can do the sprint to get a little bit closer, but we don't want to take it all the way, because they will hear us eventually. So now I'm just going to sneak on up. Once we get really close to him, we can hold right click and click. And we just do a stealth kill. And with that, he has some matches for us. That's pretty great. One thing I wanted to mention, in case you don't find a weapon right away, is you can actually go up to any of these bushes and just press and hold to gather. In this case, it's going to have me gather firewood, but for many small bushes, it'll say long stick. I think this one over here will probably say long stick. Yeah, there we go. So you can gather a long stick. If you don't have anything covering your hands, it might actually make you bleed, so you might need to repair that bleed with your bandages. But it could be a good way to go if you don't have a weapon right off the bat. Okay, she's running at us. We're going to take our lumber axe out and our chop. Alright, she did some good smacks, but the lumber axe got the job done. We don't want to use the lumber axe too much because it's actually in pristine quality. It'd be nice to keep it in semi-decent quality for a while. So this town has been pretty well looted. The main thing now is actually to start heading further inland to start looking for some better weapons and some better gear. We have enough to really kind of get us started. The main thing right now would be food, which I think the best thing to do would probably be to find a bit of meat to cook, actually. It would be really nice. So I might actually just skip ahead here until I find something to hunt, so I can show you how to hunt and eat some cooked food. So we can hear that sound off in the distance there. That's actually a deer. 99% sure. Oh, it's actually a cow. Guns make hunting a lot easier. Then you can take out a deer or really, you know, anything. Animals die to guns, believe it or not. So it's a bull. And it may not like that I'm here. And this might kill me, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, it is running. It did not like that I hit it with a lumber axe. How long will it run for? There we go. Okay, finally. We got the bull. So as long as you have a cutting implement, you can skin and quarter it. It looks like the lumber axe works. It looks like the screwdriver also works, believe it or not. I guess I'll use the screwdriver. It's kind of crazy, but I'll do it. Imagine trying to use a screwdriver to do this. It seems kind of impossible. I wonder how much damage this is going to do to the screwdriver. It brought it down to used, I think. Worn, okay. And we just get tons of stuff out of it. So you'll see it all in the vicinity as soon as you actually skin and quarter the animal. In this case, we get tons and tons of beef steaks. We get a little bit of fat, which can be used to make torches. We get some guts, which can be used to make something I'm not remembering. I think rope. Bones, which are all these, can be used to make stone bone knives, which I'm actually going to make a few right now. Just because those can be used to do a lot of this work as well and not ruin some of the sharp edges that we already have. So let's right away make some bone knives. Looks like it uses 2 bones to make a bone knife, so you can make lots. And I would recommend making a few, just because they're good in a pinch to do stuff with, and they are very low durability. You can only use them like once or twice, and then they are broken. Any ruined item is no longer able to be used, so that's something to keep in mind. And a lot of items can be repaired using different methods. Clothing can be repaired with sewing kits and leather sewing kits. Items can be repaired with like gun repair kits and maybe something else I don't know about for other items, so just keep that in mind. But there we go. We have a bunch of knives. They all end up on the ground, so just keep that in mind. These all stay pristine, strangely enough, but I think they will get broken very quickly. Well, let's swap to this food just to eat it, to get it out of the way. Now, luckily, while I was hunting down this bull, he basically brought me out to the middle of nowhere, which is kind of great, because if you're near a major road and you build a campfire, it can be a death sentence. But when you're out in the middle of the forest like this, you're pretty safe. So this will actually be pretty good. So first off, what we need to do is we need to collect some firewood. So let's go over to this tree here with our lumber axe. And there we go. We get the option to gather firewood. That was a big tree, so we're probably going to get quite a lot. Yeah, we get 4 pieces of firewood. And then the other thing we need is actually a bit of bark. So let's grab our knife, go up to the tree over here, and gather some bark. So one time around gives us 1 piece of bark. You can see that on the ground below us. We'll grab that as well. And usually I grab a second piece of bark to make the fire starter. But in this case, we actually have matches. So if you have matches or you have a lighter, you can skip that. And so we're going to take this bark. We'll walk over here to where our firewood landed, right here. Put this in our hands. And then we just take the bark and combine. And we get an option to craft fireplace. As soon as I move, it actually went away. So stand here. Craft fireplace. So once the fireplace is crafted, so it's there right now, we can grab the rest of this firewood and we can actually start popping it in the fireplace. So we'll just put it in the fuel slot here and the one in our hands as well. You can see here for a fire, we actually needed some kind of fuel, which could have been the firewood or it can also be sticks, specifically the smaller sticks. If you get a long stick, you need to break it up. And then you also need some kindling. That can be a lot of different things. It shows most of the options here. So it could be rags, which is just taking that shirt, which I guess we can actually do that now. So take the shirt and combine a knife, and we're able to craft rags. These rags can be used for kindling, like we just saw, but they can also be used to bandage wounds. But before you do that, I would recommend you use some disinfectant on the rags to make sure that they're clean. Right now, these are just rags that may actually get you sick if you use them for bandaging. So just use your bandages unless you have nothing else. So we have our fireplace, we have the long stick. Just to show you how to do it, take the long stick. Actually, you know what? We'll save this for now, but we could take the long stick, we can split it, and we can put it on the fire as well. But we have plenty of firewood, so we don't need to actually do that this time. What we will do is we'll take our long stick, we'll combine it with a sharp object like our hatchet. Oops. Guess we can do that from there. We have to do it from over here. Yeah, there we go. Combine. And then we can sharpen. And once we have our sharpened stick, we can take that sharpened stick, hold on to it, and we can go over here to our meat pile, grab one of these steaks, place it in this little slot here, and as you can see, we have our steak on a stick. Which would be great if our fire was on, but right now it's not. So let's grab our matches, put it in our hand by going to the swap side, click and hold. One thing to keep in mind, if your matches get wet, they will not be usable. So make sure that if you have damp matches, you find a way to dry them out. Or you have to find a different way to start your fire, like the hand drill kit that I talked about with the stick and bark. So now that we have our meat, we can get up close to the fire here. Don't step on the fire, that'll hurt you. For some reason, I'm not getting an option to actually use the fireplace right now. I think maybe it's just not hot enough yet. Take a second. Let's take the meat off. Put the meat back on. There we go. I don't know if that was it or if it just needed more time. But we are now roasting our meat at the fire here in the woods. No zombies to be seen. I mean, it wasn't ideal chasing a bull around for so long, but now we have infinite meat, essentially, as long as we have storage for it, which, by the way, one thing we didn't find in our starting town that would have been very helpful is a backpack. Having some kind of storage like a backpack, satchel, courier bag, anything is just super helpful for extra slots. You can also get a vest. So lots of different ways to get more storage. Shirt, pants, vest, backpack are the main ways that I know of. So make sure you're looking for those in the first town as well. Right now we're going to be pretty strapped on storage space once we get this done. So as soon as this meat actually finishes up, after it goes through one rotation, it'll start burning. So let go. You can pull this meat off, put it in your hands. In this case, I'll put it on the ground first, and then swap it. And eat it. And we'll get our next piece ready to go. Now keep in mind that if you're barehanded, when you skin and quarter the animal, you'll get blood all over your hands. And then when you go to drink or eat with those bloody hands, it will very likely, if not certainly, get you sick with cholera, and it will really suck. So it's very important not to eat right away if you're in that situation. Instead, wash your hands either with your water bottle, which I believe is possible, or for sure you can do it at a pump in a town. So keep that in mind. For now, what I'm going to do is, although glow sticks I've heard are actually important, I'm going to drop it. I'll keep the nails. I'll keep the better box of matches. You know what? I think I got to just keep both of them in this case. The bones can go. Not important. The rags can likely go as well. We'll keep our bone knives here. There we go, a couple of spots right there. Okay, so this will give us room to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like we might be able to get another steak if we're smart here. Like, what if we put these down here? There we go. So that gives us 5 steaks. And we could even eat one more as we cook, and then we'd be able to walk away with 5 steaks and full hunger and thirst. And we're in really good shape at that point. Then we're just heading northwest into the map, looking for guns, looking for a backpack. But we're set up. We're alive. We're moving. We're not dead to zombies. This is a good start to the game, and I think an appropriate place to end this video. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something, please do like. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments. I've been really enjoying the game, and I'd love to talk to you there about it. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.